What's up, everyone? We're doing this one a little bit differently this week because normally I do the stream and just monitor the chat on the computer. And good morning, guys. So if any of you have seen my Facebook post about my phone, can you see that? If I put my hand behind it, can you see that? That's not supposed to happen. Best part is it still works. So like, it still works, but it doesn't close. And every time I press it, it like presses weird things through the screen. So the battery might be swelling in the back or something. So that's on the list of things to do. You gotta get this. I mean, it still works, but like short of duct taping it shut, like I feel like I need to maybe find a professional. So that's happening today. Lamination, yeah, something's going on weird. The black is starting to show spots in it. I don't know. It's crazy. That's what I get for messing with my phone. Yeah, that'll buff out. So yeah, I apologize if the video and audio quality is subpar. Not that it was probably any good before, to be honest. So I guess I'm not really apologizing for much in that sense. But anyway, good morning. Good, man. Good season. How's everybody's? We're kind of on the tail end of that winter. By definition, winter, like it's getting to the calendar period where we traditionally start bringing temperatures back up. I hope everybody's animals are getting it together. Seems like we got a lot of us in here. That's good. I've got a lot of males that are starting to be disinterested in their females and shedding and kind of showing that they're done. So we'll see. I mean, everything's looking good with the exception of like one. So, but I've talked about this before. Oh, nice. Have fun out there, Justin. That's tight that there's shows every weekend. I mean, they're not conveniently located for everyone, but that's cool. What was I gonna say? Yeah, it's getting to that time where I'm gonna start bringing temperatures back up and offering everybody food. Long line yesterday. Hey, that's good. Sounds like it's a good show. 6 hour drive. Ooh, buddy, that's a drive. What time did you leave? That's brutal. I hope you're on the road right now already. Before I forget, if anybody's curious about any of the carpet fests, we're getting these things kind of updated. Like there's more daily coming out. If you were here last week, you heard me talk about Southeast, and I'll give a quick rundown on Southeast Carpet Fest again. It's February 9th down in Florida at Cody and Pia Bartolini's place in Melrose, Florida at the Terrestrial and Arboreal facility. There are B&Bs, Airbnbs everywhere. They've got camping space on their property. You can get out there. There's a whole Facebook page. There's over 100 something auction items going for Nidovirus. Plus, I think the t-shirts might have closed by now, but there might be some in the auction if you missed out on that. But so hit up Southeast Carpet Fest Facebook page, Ian Bissell, any of those folks. Just start asking questions if you have any, and you'll get connected to the right people sooner or later. Northeast Carpet Fest, the OG chapter, is someone's gonna check out some jungles. Nice, there you go. Hopefully, there's good ones there. Their fest is June 9th, I believe. And that's at Eric's place out in PA, and they've got a Facebook page for that too. So you can reach out to those guys if you're out in the Northeast area and get in touch with them. And then the Southwest folks and myself, we've sort of been figuring it all out and trying to keep into consideration the other Carpet Fest dates plus big shows and other events. And I think the Southwest Carpet Fest is looking at, I want to say it was June 29th, July 27th. That sounds right. Anyway, it's been posted, and there's a really funny t-shirt design with a likeness of Eric Burke on there already. So, yeah, go check that page out. More details to come. So there's Carpet Fest popping up everywhere. These ones have been around for a while. It's just we're just now getting the dates announced. So that's happening soon. So yeah, if you want to go, just all you got to do is hit the right people up. And the auction for Southeast Carpet Fest is live right now, by the way. There's a lot of dope stuff in there. Please go look it up. Like, it's not just carpets. There's actually very few carpet python related things in there. There's ball python stuff, boa stuff, chondra stuff, books, feeders, shirts, shipping coupons, etched glass stuff, like old pieces of like herp history on a Facebook page. Yes. Everything, each one should have its own Facebook page. So if you go into Facebook and look it up, you should be able to find them. I think Southeast is the only one with a live auction going right now. So please go hit that up. There's some good people putting that on and sponsors. So there's a lot. Ian and those guys got a lot of people like on board. I mean, that one's been going for a couple of years now, and the whole idea of Carpet Fest has been going on for about 8 years now since it started up in PA with Eric and those guys. Eric, Scott, Owen, like there's a group of like 8 or 10 guys that started that idea, and it's now grown to a point where there's a UK one happening this year. So Southwest yeah, I think it's the last weekend in July, Kenny. If you get in touch with Brandon Wheeler or Tony Dorr or Stephen Katz, they're all involved in the discussion on that. And I think Brandon and Stephen are kind of going to be the main point people for that one. So, but again, there's a Facebook page for that. So hopefully I'll be able to make that. We try to keep these things on weekends because typically we all have weekends off. I'm hoping that I will have the challenge of not having normal weekends by then, because if that's the case, that means I'll have gotten a new gig. So, but we'll see. I don't want to jinx that. Oh, I haven't pulled out a snake yet. Is this disappointing for y'all? There were 2 likes and now there's only 1. Who did I upset? Yeah, Kenny, you got time to plan. Time to plan. Oh, it's going to be at Brian Cusco's house, by the way. So that's in Atascadero near Slow area, San Luis Obispo. There's Firestone Walker Brewery, tons of wineries, and then Brian and his wonderful family. And it's a cool spot. It's really a nice hilly green area. So if any of y'all are looking for a place to like just get some fresh air for weekend, you'll get that there. But yeah. And if you guys weren't here last week, this is my new RPD mug from Eric. Thing's badass. It holds so much. So, thanks, Jungles to see. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I do need diamonds and inlands. And I guess technically Nova Guineas if you're hitting them all, if I wanted to have them all. Penny, I saw that. That's a beautiful animal. Beautiful diamond, man. Really happy for you. I'm glad people are working with diamonds. I personally don't think I would be able to do them justice with my setup. It just gets a little too warm in the summer here, and I'd like to have a space where I could set them up and then probably make a colubrid diamond room sort of thing. So that'll be in the future. How do you guys like the Morelia Monday show? It's kind of short and simple and not too technical or anything, but I figured it would, I just go through everything and kind of showcase random stuff. Like I said, I don't have everything. In fact, I wanted to do a breadlie one and show off. Oh, she's hungry. So I haven't fed like any of my animals over. Yeah. I'm like really close to her right now. She's beyond in range, and in like 2 months too, because I'm cycling younger animals. Oh, you love the funky beat. Nice. Cool, man. That was the one that I thought was like the most playful and kind of mellow and friendly. And oh, you're listening to me to me at work. I see. I apologize. I try to keep it in there. Excuse me, honey. So this girl, I wanted to do a Morelia Monday segment, film it with the Brettles, but they're kind of in this darker stage right now, where because it's cooler and they're not eating, their overall tone is very dark. And if you guys have seen my photos of them, you know that they have pretty nice colors, but yeah, I apologize for that. But I would like to film some more with the Brettles, but I just feel like filming them right now wouldn't do them justice because they just don't look their best. But the idea for me was to let them experience a winter early before they're ever even like going to breed, so that when they come time for breeding, kind of got one. Ow! She's a little hungry. She's not going for the tail thing. I expected this from the male. So anyway, what's up? Bite it still. Nah, I'm good. I'll just let her figure it out. The point I was actually hoping to make was to show you that these things are solid during the winter. Like she would eat right now, although the temperature is dropping or it's cool. Like she would certainly eat. Ooh, that's knuckle. That's right in the knuckle. And these guys are actually documented eating birds and things. Long teeth, big muscular heads, ideal for grabbing good prey. So you can see what she's doing here. This is a food bite, as opposed to like a defensive, just get away sort of thing. And everybody says Brettles are really mellow, and to be completely honest, they are. But this time of year, this is kind of how it goes, Now documented. Yeah, they eat wild Rileys, apparently. Maybe it's a flattering thing that I taste good. But anyway, the male would certainly do this. But we are a couple weeks away from starting to ramp temperatures back up to normal. Yeah, there seems to be within Bredl's pythons a very very small percentage of them that are just 100% turned on all the time. Like this girl's a sweetheart. She just really thinks I'm feeding her. She's about to let go too. I brought her to presentations, and she's an angel. Um, they're very smart animals. It's just this time of year, their feeding response is pretty solid. If anyone's curious what this feels like, go get a bunch of staplers and just close them all around your knuckle. What's the longest a snake's ever held on to you? I got bit on the shin by an 11-foot Burmese python who held on for about 5 minutes. Um, you have an insane tiger too? I have a male tiger he never turns off basically. So one of the things I could do right now is I could run her head under a faucet under cold water, and that usually is an instant sort of thing. I just don't want to leave you guys with an empty frame at the moment. You just stare at my dirty cages, and yes, they are dirty right now because I kind of let the females do their thing. So a lot of these animals are breeding, and I like them to feel like it's still home. Like in my head, there is such a thing um, as like too sterile, too clean. And if any of you have read Ari's book, Serpents in the Clouds, there's a section where he talks about the Boelen's pythons in captivity. Anytime the guys would clean the urates that they put by the entrance of their dens, they'd immediately replace them and put more there. Just for whatever reason, whether it's to let other females know or to attract mates or whatever reason, they like having that there for some sort of scent reason. So like my jungle, she's got a couple little urates near the entrance of her area. I just left them. Anything that's like serious, like poop or feces left over that, sometimes happens with breeding, that I'll clean up. But for the most part, I let it go. I'm not really like scrubbing the walls too much. Once everybody's done, then I'll do a full disinfect of everything. Got a really good angle of all 4 rows of her teeth, but oh, here we go. You gonna let go, hun? She's kind of stuck on me here. You done? A temporary mess is worth some babies. Yeah, this girl's 20, what, 20? Yeah, she's 2016. So it'll be a while. Ooh, please don't try and like rebite. There we go. Just to make sure we don't. Ooh, I don't want to. Oh, man. We've opened the well. Just like to not get her covered in blood is all. Let go. Maybe if I feed her back in. Oh, nope, she's out for round 2. She's hungry. That's funny. She's such a great animal, too. Ah, she's coming back for more. Ooh, no, heck no. In you go. Ah, bloody hell. I don't have time for your nonsense. Stand by. Cool. Not so bad. So I didn't want to yank her head off because obviously that would break teeth. and I've had that happen. Breaking news: Riley doesn't feed his bred live. You are correct. She has not eaten since November 4th. Does that mean I'm dead? It means I don't taste good, I guess. Oh. First time making it live and you were getting chewed on. It's the first time it's happened for me, man, so join the fun. Close up of the bite, please. I mean, you can't see it. She kind of got me there. Here, let me. What will happen is once it's all wiped up and cleaned up, it'll just be a few little tiny spots. You won't even see it. I mean, you'll see it because it's like on a bruised spot now. Did I bring her to the? Yeah, she's the one I brought to the NorCal Herb Society meeting. She's a sweetheart. She's great. Do I ever mess with the tap training with Morelia? Yes, I do have a couple animals that you can do the same sort of tap style retic training with. I have a few that if you don't do it, you pay for dearly. And then I have a few that it doesn't matter what technique you're doing, that animal wants to bite you. So, there. You kind of see right here, there's basically two horseshoe shapes, one within another. So they have their dentition on top is 4 rows. There's the outer primary teeth, and then there's 2 rows kind of in the middle that surround like the edges of the Jacobson's organ up there. If you ever see their mouth opened up, you'll see it. There's sort of like this channel in there. And that's where anytime they're flicking their tongue out, all those air particles that they're grabbing are going in. And then there's the bottom row down there. It's really superficial, to be honest. People ask, quite frequently if I ever get bit or, does it hurt and this and that. And certainly some of the bigger animals, it would hurt. It's not fun. This doesn't feel great because she got me right on this pressure point here and it's already purple and bruised. But tap training, red is like, it's just turning off a feeding response. So a lot of these animals, their first default sort of behavior is to react as if they're being fed. So you kind of have to condition them to understand a certain sequence of events will lead to food and anything else will just be interaction. And so when you start off one way, they learn what's going on and they figure it out right away as soon as you give them that cue. So with my animals, if I'm using an animal that is tap trained, what will happen is if I'm opening that enclosure, the first thing I do if I want to interact with them is use the hook, tap them, make sure they know I'm there. And that's different than when I feed them, because when I feed them, I just put something warm in their face and they eat it. So they learn to associate those routines and those sequence of events with feeding and everything else. So there are plenty of animals that you can do that with, and it'll prevent things like that. Yeah, Ryan. So I have a tiger aptly named Ripstick because he doesn't ever turn off. He just shed today. I took some photos that I'll get up eventually. And then I have a caramel male named Pistol Pete for the same reason. So there's always exceptions to the rules. I like to tell people that these animals are very smart. They know what's going on. You just have to teach them what's going on and then stay within the guidelines you set for yourself and the animal. And that Bredl's python, because it's this time of year, she hasn't eaten in over 2 months. It's starting to warm up a bit. She was thinking the sequence of events that she was experiencing would lead to food, or her hunger is that pronounced at the moment. So you found a tooth in, dude. I've had to squeeze teeth out of my knuckles from boas and things before. I've found a tooth from a jungle just cleaning, and it's a good size. Exactly, Jeff. Consistency and routine is what your animals will be looking for. They know what's going on. Exactly. So Ryan, taking a little bite like this from my bread lie doesn't really have any consequences. But as you said, from a retic, it's a different story. Oh, April, good Lord. Gosh, see, this thing's still bleeding. This is going to be a pain, actually, because I'm going to the gym later and I have a feeling it's just going to be right where I'm gripping everything. That's going to be fun. I might have to tape that. But um, I had a friend over yesterday who is absolutely terrified of snakes. He does not like them, he hates them pretty much. And he and I have been friends for like 26, 27 years. Um, his wife loves animals. She's got crested geckos that breed like crazy around the house, cats, dogs, goats, chickens. They've got a bunch of land. And a couple years ago, she picked up a gray banded king snake, and it's been growing and doing well. And over time, my buddy's been slowly more exposed to it. So he came over yesterday to hang out, and I actually got him to hold one of the baby carpet pythons and got his reaction on film. So I'm hoping to put together like a quick little 5-minute video or something, 5 or 6 minutes, just talking about like a first timer holding a snake who has like zero interest and who's terrified of them. It's really funny because you can hear his voice shaking, you can see his hands shaking. And then when he tries to talk, he tries to compose himself and he like overcompensates. And so he sounds like he's making shit up. Oops, excuse me, stuff up. So um, yeah, but it was great because he doesn't like snakes, and it was cool to see him do that, and he was stoked. And then he actually asked to hold another one after, so that was pretty cool. What up, Brandon? Dang, we got 22 people in here. That's rad. That's awesome, and I am still bleeding. Knuckles and fingers are just really thin areas. They just bleed a lot. It's not fun. Um, I guess that means I should probably uh, start looking at raising temperatures. Did you show them the sassy hogs? No, good Lord. He would run screaming if I pulled one of those out. Every time I opened a drawer, the dude backed out of the room. So if I'd have pulled out a hog nose, it'd have been game over because that thing had been yelling at him and posturing. He'd have been out real quick. What temp do I keep my Bredls at typically? So they're in the rack with everything right now, but what I've done is I put them down at the bottom. So there's about a 4-degree temperature difference from the top to the bottom, just as far as ambient goes. And I like to keep my rack set at 87, 88 in there. So because they're at the bottom, they'll get the same hot spot more or less, but the ambient will fluctuate more. In the summer, it still gets really warm here, so they'll get that high like warmth overall during that time. But this time of year, even when I'm running the heater, it's definitely cool down there, and so I'm letting them hit 70s. There were probably a few nights where they hit high 60s, but I can't let my room get that low right now. I've got Crebos in here that like the cool weather, but there is such a thing as too cool for them. Geckos, literally everything's in here right now because actually half of my apartment lost power yesterday because of breaker blew that hasn't been replaced since the 60s. So my bathroom, my bedroom, the quarantine area, and the hallway have zero power. So everything's in here. So yeah, gotta stay warm. So that's what I keep my Bredls at. So the last few episodes we've been doing here have been flying off the hip and kind of talking about Carpet Fest and what's been going on. So, don't forget, y'all can ask me questions and submit topics. Red Melter, what kind of stats do I use? Primarily the Vivarium Electronics, the VE300s, because they have the built-in night drop. The only thing is they're a single channel unit. They do have a dual channel V300 by 2. So you can use those. Those have been solid and very reliable to me. I also am a big fan of anything Herpstat. A lot of my cages, racks, everything is all sort of secondhand, and therefore a lot of my thermostats have come that way as well. Many I've purchased, but I really like the Herpstats. I really like the Vivarium Electronics, but I think in the future, just to optimize the controls and make things a little bit easier, I'd probably like to switch over to fully Herpstats and use like the 4 and 6 channel ones, because one unit to control multiple is a little bit easier than having like one stat per rack. I mean, there are wattage limits to each unit, so you can't overload things ultimately, but there's a lot of good products out there, and those are the two that I have the most experience with and love them. So I would say if you were to select anything from Spider Robotics in the Herpstat department or Vivarium Electronics off of Reptile Basics, you'll be set. Just make sure you look at which one, because the VE100 is an on-off. The VE200 is proportional, but it doesn't have a night drop. The V300 is proportional with a night drop, but it's a single channel. And then they have a 300x2, which is the proportional, night drop, and dual channel. Would I enjoy a 2-plug stat for multiple elements in a single cage for a larger enclosure? Absolutely, especially if you wanted like a ramping up light feature, or you wanted to create different thermal gradients, or if you wanted one to control ambient and the other one to ramp up a hotspot. I think that would be cool if you did a big cage, because ultimately a bigger cage needs more heating elements. So that might be smart if you're going, fancy with that. Can you refer to a number? What? A Forest Fanning monitor style setup. Yeah, he runs a lot of those Herpstat 6s, and then he's got Mist King systems that are probably controlled with a hydrostat. Yeah, very good point, April. She mentions that not every light is going to be capable with a ramping feature. So that's actually one of the things I'd really like to do is figure out a way to light these cages. Obviously, you can't really light racks, and the ambient light comes through a bit, but that'd be ideal to have everything in cages running lights one day, but that's an investment. It turns into if you don't have the right bulbs or you don't have the right wattage going to it, it'll just flicker and probably give you a seizure. All right. So it's been half an hour. I don't want this to be another 45-minute one, because it just gets long, and I don't think you guys want to sit around for 45 minutes. Let me know if there's anything you guys want to see next week. On Tuesday on NPR, Vin Russo is going to be on there, and they're going to be talking about like PT skinks, boas, a bunch of different stuff. So you guys should definitely catch Morelia Python Radio this week. Again, hit up all the Southwest, Southeast, and Northeast Carpet Fest Facebook pages if you want information for that. The Southeast one's coming up in a couple weeks. Sassy Hognose next week. I think we could make that happen. What do we call it? Carpets and crazy hogs. I don't know. We'll do something. We definitely should do some hognose for y'all. They've been chilling out this winter a little bit, and so time to bring them up and spice things up. So Amazon tree boas. My adults are sitting right under this computer right now because of the power outage thing. The babies are over there chilling, growing up. So I hear you guys want some more variety. Okay, we'll do that. On another note, enjoy football today. I'm going to go to the gym. watch some football. I got errands to run. I got snakes to clean. I might offer some food to some of them today. We'll see. Hit up all the Carpet Fest pages for information. I still have some t-shirts if anyone's interested. I'm going to switch up the prints available for sale soon. I've been meaning to do that. I've got another round to edit up and throw up there. So if you all are looking for artwork, let me know. And yeah, I'll keep you updated on the breeding season. Got a lot of animals breeding. Got some post-ovulatory sheds happening and starting soon. So fingers crossed, this could be a good year, y'all. Anyway, take care. I hope you guys have an awesome Sunday. And hit me up if you have any questions. Love, peace, and chicken grease.